Well, hello guys, it is that time once again for another edition of Odds and Ends, where I read you some really weird news stories from all over the world, and hey, we don't call it Odds and Ends for a reason, you know? Yes, I know I am 2 weeks late, but if you watch my vlog first, then you'll understand why I'm doing this very late, and if not, go watch the vlog first, then come back and watch this video, so I'll wait. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm sure you're very anxious to hear these stories, which are from about a week ago, I want to say. I was going to say 2, but it's not quite the newest issue yet, so about a week ago. But anyways, I'm sure you guys are anxious to hear these stories, so without further ado, let's begin. And our first story comes out of the Ukraine, where a Russian state media agency, RIA Novosti, reports 3 tamed dolphins believed to be part of a rumored secret military training program escaped from a Ukrainian naval training base in Sevastopol on the Crimean Peninsula. The news organization made waves last year after it reported 10 dolphins were being trained by the Ukrainian Navy to detect mines and attack enemy swimmers. At that time, the Ukraine's defense ministry denied reports of any attack dolphin programs. Nonetheless, reports of military-trained dolphin attack squads were circulated since the Cold War. In 2000, the BBC reported on trained dolphins, walruses, sea lions, seals, and white beluga whale that had been trained to attack enemies with weapons including harpoons and, quote, could also undertake kamikaze strikes against enemy shipping carrying mines. The United States Navy admits it's trained its own dolphin soldiers for decades, but the website for the U.S. Navy Marine Mammal Program notes that, quote, the Navy does not now train, nor has it ever trained its marine mammals to harm or injure humans in any fashion or to carry weapons to destroy ships. The site goes on to say that, quote, dolphins cannot discern the differences between enemy and friendly vessels or enemy and friendly divers and swimmers. Quote, a quote, former Soviet naval anti-sabotage officer told RIA Novosti that the escaped dolphins were probably looking for mates who would likely come back in a week or 2. No word on whether the missing dolphins are armed and dangerous. So you're trying to train dolphins to do your naval dirty work, basically. So you want them to say, okay, you're an enemy, I'll attack you with my teeth, or shoot you with a harpoon, or an enemy ship carrying mines, and placing mines in the ocean, and disarming them, or defusing them, or whatever, and then enemy ships that are coming in and just taking care of them. That's going to be real smart, but it's going to take a very long time, and plus with PETA on your ass and everything, I'm sure that they won't even allow it, and sure, you guys are saying that you guys don't do it, but obviously, if this is making news, somebody blew the whistle and spilled the beans, so way to go, guys, and I doubt it would even happen, so yeah. Moving on to our next story, which comes out of Japan, where a 44-year-old Japanese politician who won a seat on the Otiya City Council in February has been banned from council meetings because he refuses to remove his Mexican-style wrestling mask. Wrestler turned politician and Skull Reaper, AG, was narrowly elected on a platform of education reform and improved social welfare facilities, but procedural technicality banning hats in the council chambers have prevented him from attending council meetings. The ban was apparently enacted just before Skull Reaper's first council meeting. After being thrown out, Skull Reaper stood outside the meeting in protest and told Japanese media he had no intention of removing his trademark, quote, black and red lucha libre style headgear. Quote, people find it funny, or find it easy to come up and talk to me because I have a mask on, he told the Nishinin Papan Shimban. Skull Reaper isn't the first masked politician in Japanese history either. A former pro wrestler named Super Delphine, spelled Delfin, was elected as a member of the Municipal Assembly of Izumi in 2012, while legendary grappler the Great Sasuke was served as a Owari Prefectural Assembly legislator in 2003. Okay, so it's not the first nor the last in Japanese history and politicians and actually government politicians that have worn masks. So why ban him? I mean, there's two. There was one in 2012 and one in 2003. Huge gap, but why are you going to ban him? Because he refuses, he refuses, number one, and you have every right to, ban him, though, since it's against the law, apparently. But number two, if this has happened before, and there are two people on the legislative poll who have worn masks before, and they still gotten away with it, why? Why reform him? Well, I mean, things change in a span of 8 years. No, 4 years. 9 years. 9 years since the last one wore a mask, though, and then this one is about a year. So, I don't understand. But I'm sure they can come to some form of agreement, because without him, obviously, look at how well things are going so far. Let's see. Education reform and improved social welfare facilities. Obviously, things must be going pretty well in Japan before this whole parade happened of like BS that says, oh yeah, you can't wear a mask or a hat. Stupid. But we are moving on to our next story, which comes out of California, where 4 men have been arrested in connection with a January 27th marriage proposal stunt that shut down the 10 freeway in East Central Los Angeles. The Contura Costa Times reports that California Highway Patrol served arrest warrants earlier this month for 3 LA area residents. A 4th man turned himself in at the Baldwin Park CHP office. Hector Martinez, 24, of Covina, Mike John David Gutierrez, 38, of Linwood, Giovanni Mendez, 19, of La Puerta, and Rudy Cadena, 24, of Long Beach, were booked on suspicion of misdemeanor public nuisance and participation in an unlawful assembly. Martinez used the January 27 tie-up to propose to his girlfriend. At 1:25 p.m., upwards of 250 motorcycles halted traffic on the freeway near Barakina Avenue in West Covina. After his girlfriend got off his motorcycle, Martinez allegedly performed a speed burn for several seconds. After that, CHP Sergeant Kurt Storms told Cortona Costa Times, quote, several of the riders also dismounted their bikes. Mr. Martinez then proposed to his passenger. Several of the motorcyclists on the scene applauded, videotaped, and photographed the incident. Video of the proposal became a viral hit on YouTube, prompting police to hunt down organizers of the romantic traffic jam. Okay, dude. It's a good idea to propose to your girlfriend, but a bad idea to do it on the freaking 10 freeway in Los Angeles, for Christ's sakes. Jeez Louise. I don't understand why you did it in the middle of the freaking 10 freeway. I mean, do you know how much traffic is in the 10 freeway? Let alone the 5 in LA? Do you know how bad it gets when you stop in the middle of traffic and you do this kind of stunt? Jeez Louise. And you're also getting charged with suspicion of misdemeanor, public nuisance, and participation in an unlawful assembly. So you might be looking at a few months, maybe a couple years, but should have done it in a little more subtle place instead of the freeway. Am I right? I thought so. And we are moving on to our final story, which comes out of Michigan, where Grand Valley State University in Allendale has settled a lawsuit agreeing to pay $40,000 to a student who was barred from keeping a guinea pig in her dorm room. According to Kendra Valzen's lawsuit filed in March 2012, her guinea pig was denied a service animal exemption to the, quote, no pets rule at Chandler residence dorm. Calder residence dorm. Valzen said she had a letter explaining her need for a support animal from her medical provider. Valzen has a heart condition that requires the use of a pacemaker, and apparently a guinea pig. GVSU denied her request, saying that the Americans with Disabilities Act does not list guinea pigs as a trained service animals. In settling the lawsuit, GVSU will split the $40,000 between Valzin, her lawyer, and her Fair Housing Center of West Michigan. School also agreed to let Valzin bring her heart-healthy guinea pig if she chooses to live on campus in the future. Wow. So yeah, guinea pigs. Okay, I can see why college campuses don't allow small animals such as guinea pigs, but even if this woman has a slip of paper that says this animal has every right to be here to help me because I have a medical condition, then for God's sakes, let the woman through, for Christ's sakes. Don't just like say, oh yeah, you're just making up this BS just so you can bring your happy guinea pig with you just to make things easier. No. And don't throw this bullshit that says the Americans with Disabilities Act doesn't say guinea pigs. Things are changing, okay? You still don't, yes, you may still have the constitutional rights to go back and say, okay, just because of this act, that it still applies to us. Things are changing, okay? So, guinea pigs who help with heart conditions and pacemakers, let them through, okay? That's all I'm going to say. $40,000, not really much, but at least she's getting some of that money, but of course some of that's going to go to the lawyer. And then of course they make this whole BS nonsense that says that agreed to let her back in with her guinea pig if she chooses to live on campus in the future. After this BS stuff that you guys pulled, I seriously highly doubt that she's ever going to go back there because of the BS stuff that you guys pulled. It's like, oh yeah, no guinea pigs allowed because you have a heart condition, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's not going to happen because you guys don't want another lawsuit, but anyways, guys, that is it for this edition of Odds and Ends. And I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to those stories as much as I like reading them to you. And, yeah, well, we're going to be back on schedule. Actually, I should be back on schedule very shortly. So, we will see you guys this next Thursday. Thursday, I should say. Thursday for another edition of Odds and Ends. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. And you guys can take it easy.